Mary had a little man.
The fourth, we believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me. Help is on the way.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
Donald Trump is under arrest. Again. Donald Trump is under arrest. I'm sorry. I should be somber about the past president of the United States is under arrest. What a sobering and somber moment for this great republic, for this unbelievably resilient democracy of ours. What a sad day. What a sad commentary on the American people.
Okay, you be somber and maintain your integrity. Donald Trump is under arrest, baby.
Just a few minutes ago, the former president's motorcade arrived here at the courthouse. The former president now has been officially booked in court, according to the U.S. Marshals Service. Something that we didn't know that was going to happen, though, Leland, he was accompanied not just by his legal counsel, but Walt Nauta, who has been listed allegedly as a co-conspirator in this case and is listed in 5 of those charges with the former president, counts 32 through 36. They contend that Nauta aided the former president in moving and concealing some of these documents and misleading investigators. So he is also in court today and will be sitting at the defense table with the former president.
Okay, I had to play applause over News Nation because they're such idiots that they actually said in that report, and I sort of covered for them there with the applause. Not that I don't feel joyous, not that I don't feel, that was an applause-worthy event that we just witnessed on the TV there. No, I had to cover for them because News Nation was so stupid that they said, and something we didn't know was going to happen. What? Walt Nauta accompanied the president? Are you kidding? They're co-conspirators. In this case, they are duly indicted by the single indictment. I don't know, everybody. I don't know what's happened to the TV. I don't know what's happened to news. I don't know. All I can tell you is that Donald Trump is having a very, very, very hard time finding lawyers. I would suggest that the people who are still loyal to Donald Trump, the people who still support him, the people who still think that, he's being railroaded, he's innocent, he didn't really take those boxes of documents, that wasn't his bathroom, it is his bathroom, but I don't care that it was his bathroom. Bathroom doors? I swear to God, this is the sickest thing Kevin McCarthy has ever said, and he said some really, really sick and twisted things. He said that it's okay that Donald Trump hid and, secreted national security documents, presidential daily briefings, nuclear information about the United States array, defense information, war maps, things that came from, he said it was okay that Donald Trump stored them in the bathroom because bathroom doors have locks on them. What? They have locks to keep people from coming in when you're in there. They lock from the inside, not the outside. Oh, my God. So for everyone who still defends the indefensible, for everyone who's still on Team Trump, I would suggest you become one of his attorneys for just a brief period in time, because every one of his attorneys who has ever worked on his team leaves, quits, hating him. So that's the best advice I could give to Trump supporters. Become a member of the Trump legal team. He actually had to go into court today, could not find a Florida criminal attorney. You can't find a criminal attorney in Florida. Florida is like a drug cartel central. Florida is full of violent crime. Florida is full of criminal defense attorneys. He couldn't find a criminal defense attorney. This is how much lawyers say to other lawyers, don't do it. Don't do it. He doesn't pay his bills, and he'll throw you under the bus. He'll blame you. He'll make you the subject of the next indictment, like he did to Evan Cohn. Stay away. Stay far, far away. I mean, this is just so unbelievable. So, anyway, celebrate the fact that Donald Trump is under arrest. And it's a good thing he wears real baggy-ass pants, because then no one will notice the ankle monitor, which I doubt he'll even get. Now, here's an interesting factoid. Walter Nauta, he's also been arrested. He's been booked. He was mugshotted. I don't believe Donald Trump was. I don't know if the camera just refused. and said, oh, I can't. Or, what the dealio is. But Walter Nauta is getting different treatment than Donald Trump. And Walter Nauta was able to find a criminal defense attorney. Donald Trump had to use the defense attorneys that he already had working on the case in Manhattan. And Chris Kise, who interestingly is the ex-Florida Solicitor General, meaning he's a guy who argues in front of Supreme Courts. He's, the Florida Supreme Court, basically, state's Solicitor General. Not a criminal defense attorney, not somebody that has experience with violent crime or national security. It's so strange that he really could not find anybody to represent him. And you know that indictment is just a portion. It's a piece. It's a small sliver of what Jack Smith has that he can prove. It's just a tiny little taste. And the only reason why that indictment spoke so loudly, the only reason why that indictment had as much detail as it did, is because Jack Smith understands that this is a person who's very popular among very weird people in this country. And he's also a previous president, and the American people had a right to know whether or not Jack Smith had the goods, whether or not Jack Smith had proper cause to indict a past president of the United States of America. Now, we've had criminal presidents before, right? But of course, Richard Nixon had, I don't want to say the dignity or the grace, but he had the self-awareness to resign. He knew he would be prosecuted if he didn't resign. Same thing with Spiro Agnew. Spiro Agnew, Vice President Spiro Agnew, Richard Nixon's Vice President Spiro Agnew, he also knew to take the deal, which was resign from the vice presidency and you won't be prosecuted for tax fraud, which is what he, had a indictment, like 40 counts of tax fraud. Now, those are political solutions to criminal crimes, okay? And that's why we're in this pickle. That is why we're where we are. We're where we are because America allows for the top tier in the two-tier system of justice, maybe 4 tiers now, but they allow for the top tier in the tiers of justice available to Americans. They allow plea bargains that say you won't even be prosecuted, you won't this, you won't that, just leave, just go, just don't darken the door anymore, just, don't let the door split you where the good Lord, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you, and we'll call it a day, and this is why we have the situation we have, because Donald Trump doesn't feel like he will ever be held accountable. And you have people in this country that think accountability is worse than the crime. I swear to God. They're like, you can't do. Yesterday in the Wall Street Journal, just saying, there were 2 editorials yesterday. They were in the homework yesterday, too. One was the New York Times that said Trump should be nowhere near national security documents ever again. He should never, ever, ever have the ability to look at, nuclear secrets. He should never be able to see troop movements. He should never be able to see the Presidential Daily Brief, which is, something written by the intelligence operators and then distilled down and spoon-fed to a president. And it has the most important information about the security of the United States of America here and abroad, right? And so the New York Times said he should never be able to see any of that. The Wall Street Journal, on the other hand, their argument was, it's a Rupert Murdoch paper, their argument was, the editorial board there, that holding him accountable is going to unleash the whirlwind in Trump support land. And we can't possibly survive that. We can't possibly do that. We can, if a popular person is, being indicted, well, you better think twice before you... What? I swear, that was the only argument they can make. You know why? Because what he did was indefensible. So all they could do was spread fear and say, if you prosecute him, you will reap the whirlwind from Trump supporters. From Trump supporters? I mean, honestly. But, it's so interesting that the lawyers don't want to have anything to do with him. The lawyers don't. Because it's an amazingly strong case. And he has also gone through more lawyers than Spinal Tap has gone through drummers at this point.
Clear.
Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.